Your mind goes quiet, then suddenly loud. One small money thought tilts the whole day sideways. It happens before you notice it starting. A number flashes and your chest tightens slightly. You were fine a moment ago. Truly fine. Now your thoughts race through worst-case stories. That feeling has a name, even if untaught. It is financial stress hijacking your mind quietly. By the end, you will understand it. You will feel calmer, steadier, kinder toward yourself. Most money anxiety does not announce itself. It slips in through a glance, a price tag. It arrives as a flicker behind your eyes, a tightness, a sigh you didn't plan. You open the banking app for a quick check. Your stomach drops, even when the number is okay. You close the app and try to move on, but something inside stays alert, scanning for threats. That scanning is the hijack happening in real time. Your mind switched modes, treating life as a problem. You did not choose this and cannot easily stop it. It runs underneath your thoughts like background noise. Financial stress is rarely about the money itself. It is about meaning attached to it over years. To your body, money is not numbers on a screen. It is safety, belonging, dignity, the right to rest. When money feels uncertain, your body hears more. It hears safety is uncertain and responds to danger. Your breath shortens, your shoulders rise, your jaw lots, your thoughts narrow into survival mode without warning. That is the hijack, older than this moment. Your nervous system learned this response long ago. Maybe you watched adults argue about money. Maybe the air changed when an envelope arrived. Maybe a parent counted bills at the table. You watched their shoulders and learned to brace. Maybe you learned money meant tension at home, or asking made someone sigh and look away. Children do not need words to absorb financial stress. They feel it in tone, in silence, in stares. That early learning becomes the blueprint you use now. A normal expense can wake a feeling from decades back. It is not weakness, it is memory in your body. Your nervous system is doing what it was trained for. This is why financial stress can feel so disproportionate. A small charge can trigger a wave from somewhere deeper. You react to the charge plus every old fear it touches. That is a heavy load inside one small moment. A $5 coffee can feel like failure. A grocery total can feel like a verdict. The hijack often begins with a tiny trigger. A coworker mentions a vacation, an ad appears. Suddenly your chest feels heavier, and you don't know why. Your mind ranks your life against theirs. That comparison is not vanity. It is checking position. It wonders if you are safe in the group. We are social creatures, and money signals belonging today. When others seem ahead, an old fear of falling behind wakes. That fear lands in your body first, not your thoughts. Your mind only catches up later, inventing reasons. You might leave the app feeling smaller, not from one post, but a quiet accumulation. This is why financial stress ambushes you in happy moments. A celebration, a gift, and quiet panic whispers underneath. The whisper says, "Can we afford this really?" Even when you can, the whisper keeps speaking softly. It is asking, "Am I allowed to enjoy this?" It asks, "What if I needed this money for something else?" Notice how the question is never quite about today. It is reaching into a future, looking for danger first. That forward scanning is exhausting, even when nothing is wrong. Your mind lives 3 steps ahead, rehearsing emergencies. Meanwhile, your actual life is right here, mostly fine. But fine is hard to feel when alarms keep ringing. This is why steady incomes can still feel broke inside. The number is real, but safety hasn't arrived yet. Money in the bank does not automatically translate into ease. Ease is a separate skill, learned slowly with patience. Until then, more money simply means more to protect. The anxiety updates targets, but the alarm keeps ringing. A raise arrives and worry finds new shapes, bigger numbers, bigger fears, same uneasy feeling underneath. There's also the loop of mental math at night. You calculate the same numbers, hoping a new answer appears. You add, subtract, project, plan, then start over again. The math is not the goal. Soothing yourself is. But the soothing never quite lands because numbers cannot hold feelings. So you check again and again and again. You refresh the balance, hoping it feels different. The number stays the same, only tiredness grows. Pause for a moment gently, right where you are. When did money first start to feel heavy in your life? You do not have to answer out loud or solve anything. Just notice the moment and offer it some kindness. If something comes up, share it in the comments. Naming an old money moment helps another viewer feel less alone. Then, we keep going slowly because there is more underneath. The hijack has layers, and understanding loosens its grip. One layer is the way money links to self-worth. You learned your value rises and falls with your balance. So a low balance does not feel like a number. It feels like a verdict on who you are inside. That is a brutal way to place on an account. No budgeting can fix it because the wound isn't financial. Another layer is the silence around money in most families. You were taught not to ask, just to worry quietly. So the anxiety grew without language, without air, without witnesses. It became a private storm you weather alone inside. You learned to perform fine in front of others. Fine became armor. Worry stayed underneath it. Most people around you carry some version of this weight. They have not figured it out either, despite appearances. Knowing that does not pay bills, but it softens something. You are not the only one tense at the checkout. Another layer is the constant noise around modern money. Endless feeds of upgrades, deals, and supposed milestones nearby. Your mind was not designed for this volume of comparison. It evolved for small villages, not infinite highlight reels. So of course it overheats sometimes, quietly and often. Of course it whispers you are behind, even when steady. The hijack also shows up as decision fatigue around money. Small choices feel huge, and huge choices feel impossible. You leave tabs open and statements unread for weeks. Not because you are lazy, but because each pokes a bruise. Avoidance is not a character flaw. It is protection. Your mind keeps you from a feeling it cannot yet hold. Underneath the avoidance is a softer, quieter truth. You are not bad with money. You are tender about money. Tender means the topic touches something old inside. Tender places need warmth, not harsh self-talk now. When you understand that, something inside loosens a little. You stop fighting yourself for flinching at familiar pain. Often, the flinch is asking for safety, not strategy. It wants to know you will not abandon yourself again. That promise matters more than any spreadsheet ever could. Self-trust calms the nervous system more than numbers can. The hijack also feeds on isolation, especially late at night. Free in the morning is when financial fears grow teeth. Your body is tired, defenses are down, imagination is loud. Every small worry borrows costumes from older fears nearby. In daylight, the same thoughts look smaller and less personal. Not because you are stronger, but support feels closer. Learning this changes how you treat nighttime money thoughts. You stop believing them as prophecy from a tired part. You learn to say, "This is a late thought. We can look at it gently tomorrow morning." There is also a quiet shame layered inside the stress. You think you should have figured this out by now. You scroll past peers and assume they have it handled. You forget that calm faces often hide the same storm. Shame keeps the hijack going by making it feel personal. But this anxiety is human. You are not behind in some invisible race. You are simply carrying a feeling that wants to be witnessed. A simple practice can help, and it isn't financial advice. When the hijack starts, place a hand on your chest. Tell that anxious part, "I hear you. We are safe." You are not denying worry. You are reminding your body. Most financial stress lives in imagined futures, not the present. Returning to the present lowers the volume enough to think. From a quieter place, your real options become visible again. You see what is true and what is old fear. You begin to separate the math from the meaning quietly. Math is solvable. Meaning softens once you stop blaming yourself. Another small practice is naming the feeling out loud. Saying, "I am financially anxious right now," makes it visible. Once it is visible, it loses some of its power. It becomes a feeling, not a truth you must obey. You can also write one honest line in a notebook. This is what I am scared of, with no fix. That single line lets the anxiety breathe instead of building. Witnessed financial fear slowly begins to settle and soften. You can speak to a trusted person about it. Saying it aloud removes some of the weight. Another helpful step is choosing one small daily ritual. A walk, a breath, a moment of stillness before checking anything. These rituals are not productivity hacks, they are nervous system anchors. They remind your body that not everything is urgent. Over time, your relationship with money begins to shift. The same numbers feel less like threats and more like data. None of this makes money simple overnight, of course, but it makes you a kinder companion to yourself daily. That kindness is the real shift this channel cares about. Not perfect numbers, but a softer relationship with worry. You did not choose to be hijacked and aren't broken. You are a person with a sensitive nervous system. That sensitivity is also part of your depth and care. The same wiring that worries also loves carefully and loyally. The goal is not to silence the worry forever inside. The goal is to befriend it so it whispers instead. Imagine looking at your bank app and just seeing a number. Not a verdict, not a future, just a number. That is possible. Slowly, with patience and self-compassion daily, the hijack loses power when met with understanding. Imagine paying a bill without your stomach dropping first. Imagine reading a statement with curiosity instead of dread. These small moments add up into a different inner life where money is present but no longer in charge. You may notice the spiral and pause sooner. You may breathe before reacting and choose differently. You will still have hard days, and that is okay. Healing is not the absence of anxiety, it is response. You learn to greet the wave instead of being swept away. You learn to breathe through it and then continue. The wave still comes, but no longer defines you. It passes through, and you remain steady. If any of this felt familiar, take one slow breath. Let your shoulders drop and notice this moment is okay. You can feel money anxiety and still be safe. Both can be true at once, and that is healing. You are allowed to take your time learning this slowly. There is no deadline on becoming gentler with yourself. If this helped you feel even slightly more understood, consider subscribing. Tap the bell so the next conversation finds you. Share a comment if a line landed for you tonight quietly. Your words might be the recognition another viewer needed. Tell us one thing that softened for you while listening. Even a single sentence can help someone feel less alone. Next time the hijack begins inside you, remember this: you are not your financial stress, you are holding it. You are the calm one learning to hold the storm, and that quietly is where everything finally begins to change.